Yeah, I thought our guys handled the trip well. It was going to be a warm day on the road, and um, we've played, I guess that was four straight games. So our guys were, pretty focused. I didn't think we played great at times defensively, and on special teams we had a couple things that shouldn't have happened, but we were efficient offensively, particularly when Zion was in there. Our defense made some key turnovers and got some key stops, and it's good to get to win. Now we open up conference play with the team that was picked to win the league, and got a really good football program, got really good athletes. I think they got, I'm not sure how many starters they got back on offense, but I know they got 8 or 9 back on defense. So be a great challenge. We'll see what happens. We hopefully have a good crowd. Hope the weather stays, the rain stays away, and I'll have a nice day, but we'll see about that. Yeah, we didn't particularly play that well against Davidson. There were some missed assignments, and they did a good job. And we've got to play a whole lot better. You're playing. They do some similar stuff, but also they're a little bit more athletic than Davidson. They'll challenge you a little bit more with some formations and things. So we'll have to, we've got to shore that up a little bit and have a couple plans ready in case we're struggling like we did against Davidson. Yeah, that's great. We gave up a long return when we did get in there, which our guys aren't used to covering, I guess, but we got to fix that up. But AK's been, he's even had touchbacks from kicking from the 20. He's got a super leg, and that's a great feeling to have when you think most of the time he's going to kick it in the end zone. And I said the 46-yarder, wherever he kicked on Saturday, he could have been good from 56. So, and he's been very consistent. We got 2 really good kickers. We've been very blessed with that, but AK's been outstanding all year.
What are the challenges of practice of preparing for a team like Kennesaw State offense like that?
Yeah, certainly. Most of the teams you play, they're going to have a lot of similar stuff that maybe we do, whether it's RPO stuff or spread or zone reads or what have you. You don't play teams that run predominantly option nowadays. So you got to get your scout. How do you get your scout team to simulate how they're going to do, especially cutting up front? I mean, they're guys, you can't cut on the perimeter now, but you can cut on the interior, and we don't cut. And so getting our scout team guys to learn how to do that, being able to do that in practice without, hurting your own guys, that's the challenge of getting those, not just the scheme part of it, but the technique part of it up front. So it's a challenge for our defensive guys. They got some things they've got to do, particularly on Tuesday practice, the full padded practice today, to kind of get them ready, and then trying to get our offensive scout team guys to play with the same speed. You can simulate the plays and draw cards up and they follow the cards, but will they do the card as fast as Kennesaw will do it? No. So you've got to be able to really get our guys disciplined. And I think part of the defensively, playing good defense is not just from a physical standpoint, but having great eye discipline. And when you play an option team, sometimes you'll practice with 2 balls. So you always got a guy getting a dive and then a quarterback in a pitch. And sometimes you go with no balls, where your guys are making sure they're going assignment-wise and being where they're supposed to be. So we've got to do a lot of work defensively this week to make sure our guys have great eye discipline and follow the plan, so to speak.
When you do those drills where you have 2 balls in play, is the defense responsible for tackling those?
Yeah, and that's the same with no ball. I mean, you're gonna make sure you got a guy on a dive, and sometimes it's not always a triple option where you have a dive and a quarterback and a pitch. Sometimes it's a load option where they got their lead and you got the quarterback in the pitch, and he'll throw it some too. So when your quarterback is that dynamic and can run like theirs, you got to not just be there, but you got to be there in a hurry and you got to be able to tackle well. Our tackling was not really good Saturday. We were just sometimes throwing our bodies into them, and we need to wrap up and tackle better this weekend.
Coach, looking at the final scores, it looks like the offense is progressing well, and
Yeah, we executed better offensively, particularly when Zion was in there, which was what you're supposed to. We didn't punt till the end there, and we were seeing the field well. Zion was seeing the field well, and caught a couple big play action passes. Uh, again, the first year is always the hardest because when you're making corrections, it's the first time. As they grow into the offense, they'll know the mistake as soon as they make it, so to speak. So that's one thing that as the season goes along. Now we're already in game 6. That you hope that part of it become. Now this defense we're playing is a little better. It's going to be better than the one we just played. So everything's going to happen a little bit faster. But my expectation is that we get better every week. At least from a knowledge standpoint and from knowing exactly what we want out of each play. And we got a lot of offense, probably too much. But when the quarterbacks in particular are seeing the field exactly like the coaches are, then we know they're growing into that. And Zion, that was the best game he's had doing that so far.
In your experience, is it harder for whether it's a running back or a quarterback to run against the team that runs an option offense because maybe their defense is used to going against that in practice? Or
Yeah, that's a good point. I think certainly if they were going to play an option team, their defense is going to sees it every week. But the opposite thing is true as well. I mean, I'm sure their defense doesn't see as much stuff like we do every day in practice. Even though in last week's game, Kennesaw opened up with more kind of a spread zone read type of deal for the first couple series, and then they went back to their normal stuff. So they had the ability to do that, and so their defense has probably seen some of that. But when you get you get a whole week to kind of prepare, but the biggest difference, I guess, for teams is that the speed with which you're going to see it on Saturday is a whole lot different than the speed you're going to see it against a scout team. And we work really hard. We got a good group of young coaches, GAs, that work hard on the scout team and all that. And as hard as they'll work to simulate that type of speed and execution, it's still going to be faster on Saturday. And I think our guys realize that. Well, probably 2, Carter Lambert and Ashton Fry, 2 young freshmen of ours. They both have the ability to run a little bit, so that should help. And they're both really good athletes. So, and we'll do a bunch of walkthroughs. We'll obviously today's practice and tomorrow's practice is really critical. We're going to even have a couple periods today where we're cutting and teaching our guys to get off the cut block, the D linemen, because they're going to see that. They're going to see those guys come at their knees, and that's something that they haven't seen all year, so we got to be ready for that too. Yeah, we're probably as banged up, on the O-line and a lot more than we need to be. I mean, Trey Brown is banged up, and Magic is banged up. Cangelosi's coming back. That's good. But it's all hands on deck right now. We're hoping that those guys will be able to go. We'll see. They'll be limited in practice all week. Kanji should be good. But Trey and Magic, we've got to get those guys hopefully ready to go. But I'm not sure what's going to happen right now. But we'll have 5 out there and figure out what we can do when the 5 show up on Saturday. Yeah, hell, I didn't. People said, "Well, it's you can learn a lot more for a loss." I'd rather learn from a win. I'm miserable after a loss. So, we played awful but we did. I think we did turn the page pretty quick. I thought last Tuesday's practice was pretty good, and Wednesday was pretty. So I thought players are more resilient than coaches. I think we take it harder, and we have to turn the page. I'm the worst one with that, but. You got to learn to do that. We with our schedule, with having 6 straight with no open days, 3 on the road, you knew we had to turn it over quickly. And then this one, we have an open day after. Not that it really matters if we don't, but we're having an open day after this, so we'll have a chance for us to probably sit back and reflect more than right now. When you get into game after game after game, after Sunday, it's all focused on the next game in 6 days and what you're going to do to try to win that one. So our guys have been pretty good at it. Coaches were used to doing it, but after this weekend's game, we'll have a few days to kind of, okay, this is what we're do well, this is what we don't do well, this is if we're making any depth chart changes, or special teams adjustments, we'll have a time to do all that. But right now, it's kind of the same routine.
No, Western psychology. I'm just wondering, what do you do to bounce back from a loss? But it kind of gets you a little bit harder. How long does it take, and what's your process?
Well, Raquel could probably tell you, I'm miserable to be around, for at least the first 12 hours. And after we're watching film and get ready for the next opponent, you kind of get focused on that a little bit more. You can't dwell on it too much. And again, I've over the years, I don't know how many games, 200 and, all right, 201, 160s, 289 games now. So you think I'd learn, okay, after 289 games, after 24 hours, it's over with, right? That I don't probably enjoy the wins enough, which I'm trying to learn to do better of, and I probably am too miserable with the losses. And I keep telling myself that you got to change. You got to enjoy the wins a little bit more, not from more than 24 hours, but enjoy the wins more and don't get told despondent over the losses. I can't promise you that'll happen. Yeah, Markel's been a really good player his whole career here, but been one of our leaders defensively, very athletic, loves to play football. As one guy that I think has an opportunity to keep progressing, to keep playing on the next level. We have pro scout. We're very open to pro scouts. I hope they come every day. They can stay as long as they want, watch practice, whatever they want. And there's been a bunch of them coming through here, both from camp and during the season. And probably the first guy they're asked about is him, which is good. He's deserved that, and he's been a good leader for us. Been a good player, of course, but I still think his best football is out in front of him too. So really excited about what he can do the rest of the season.
The last thing, after 3 long weeks on the road, what's the excitement like?
I think I just, whether it was after a good win and maybe being excited about home, I felt the energy, like Sundays was kind of a walkthrough more than a practice, but the energy after Sundays or during Sunday's walkthrough was really good. I think the guys are excited to be home. They know what a big game this is for Kennesaw. It's going to be a red out for all of you all watching. Wear red. I think Markel was one of the first ones that brought that up, but everybody wearing red, and that'll be nice. And so it should be a fun atmosphere. I know our guys are excited about playing at home. They know the challenge that we have Saturday playing the team that's scheduled or picked to win our league. And we're still competing in the league. As far as I know, we're still competing for a league championship until they're counting the standings. So this is the first one. So it's a big game. They're all big, but this is bigger. Yeah, I don't know. They might. I don't. Yeah, I have a tendency to get confused, so maybe I don't get too confused with this one. This is it's a conference game. It's a conference opener. Okay, great. It's our first conference game, and the first goal every year. And I said this to the team back in August. Our first goal every year is to try to win the league. You want to win the league, and so this is our first one.
A great team win. I think everybody came out. We played good down there in Louisiana. It was a little hot, but I think they got the best of it than us. The team came out and we did what we were supposed to do and got back to Jacksonville.
Talk about this week. You got Kennesaw State coming in. Different offense for your position. What does that mean for you?
We faced a triple option team once already this year, so I feel like we're going to be ready as a defensive wise to compete. Last time we played these guys, so it was 2021. I think it was like 31-6. Yeah, it was 31-6. I still got a bad taste in my mouth from that game, and I'm pretty sure all of the other guys on the team do. First conference game, and we're ready to get the show on the road.
Any questions for Markel?
I don't think everybody did their jobs last year. It was a lot of people doing what they wanted to do, and I think this year I think we're on track. Everybody's bought into the system, and everybody's ready to do their job to get the win.
What's it like preparing for an option team? I know you've already played one this year, but they're a lot different than most of the teams you're going to prepare for.
Right. The playbook that we had last week is thrown in the trash. We got a whole different playbook for this week to prepare for this team because, like you said, it's a triple option, so it's a lot different from lining up against a spread and facing the triple option team.
What's the biggest thing you have to do differently when you're preparing for a team like this?
Preparing for a team like this, everybody has to do their job. Everybody, like all 11, have to do their job on the field. So I just focus on doing my job and make sure I do my job the best way I can. You said again?
Karate has 27 touchbacks this year. How much does that help the defense?
Oh, a lot. Going out on the field, knowing the ball is down on the 25-yard line, backed up on their sideline. It's hard to get the ball from down there against the defense that we play on.
Having to see that this team, was really excited about the opportunity to stand out in the conference, and it's your last chance to make a statement. How
Mhm.
exciting is it to know you're getting in the conference play out? What added juice is that add for the team?
Honestly, to me, we're coming with the same mentality. Regardless, we was going to try to do the same thing, go undefeated, and I think that's still a top of our goal, just to keep going undefeated.
How would you evaluate where the defense is right now, and where can the defense continue to improve?
We right now, I think we can improve on tackling. We miss a lot of tackling. We tackle a little high, but I mean, we're getting the job done. So there's always room for improvement. You know what I'm saying?
And I think the best way to improve tackling is tackling a little lower, you think, or a little too high?
Yeah, a little too high. Oh yeah. Coach Alley, he does a great job at the things we need to work on. So he has tackling circuit set up as soon as we get out there. So that's like the first thing we do as a defense, tackling circuit. He's a good coach. He be on it.
It was a great team win. Had a lot of extra points in kickoffs, so that's always good to have. I feel like everyone played well, and it was good that we won.
What work do you put into the kickoff part of the game? Because you're doing pretty well. And so what do you do to practice for that? How do you make yourself better than that?
I feel like I'm focusing a lot on ball contact now and learning how to like hurdle over on kickoffs. And then I also feel like this strength staff really helped a lot as well. I mean, I've never really felt stronger until this summer, so I think they played a big part in it. So just getting stronger and getting good contact.
How much pride do you take seeing the ball in the end zone?
A lot, a lot. I like seeing them on the 25, and it helps our defense so a lot.
How do you feel about being named the conference special teams player of the week for the second time?
Feels great. It feels great to know that I have a great operation with me. I have a great snapper in Tommy, a great holder in Jack, and the guys up front are doing a great job blocking. So it feels really good.
What about the competition at Baker this year and how you eventually came out on top of that? What was that like?
It was surprising. I was told like a day before the game, so it was new. But yeah, we compete every day, and I really like Brenton, and yeah, it's nice.
You kind of, obviously the previous staff brought you here and they knew about you early and wanted you from day one. What was it like to have to compete, after you knew the previous staff was?
Well, we also had to compete last year as well. He came in last year, and we had a competition, and we still compete every day now. So yeah.
This is a little bit of an off question, but I'm just curious. I know there's been a lot of information on kickers and looking at like the NFL and just across the board. I know you guys don't always get in the spotlight because it's not always for the right reasons, but what have you seen from your position just across, those levels of play, and what do you speak to that kickers do really matter in the team?
They do matter a lot. Kickers can win or lose the game for you, so yeah, they matter a lot.
And seeing at the NFL like a lot of attention, and I guess good and bad, just how excited does that make you just to see more spotlight on kickers?
It makes me happy because it's a really important position. It's mentally tough, and yeah, it should get a lot of credit.
With the chance of rain this weekend, how does that change what you do Saturday, how you prepare?
Really, nothing. I just have to go out there and kick the ball as best I can.
So if
Well, I probably have to plant a little softer so when I hit the ground I don't slip, but that's really about it. If it's really windy, I'm going against the wind, I might have to drive it a little bit more on a kickoff, but that's about it.
We had the kickoff after the safety at Tulsa. You saw that thing go 80 yards. Take us through that play.
We were going with the wind, so I was like, I could possibly kick a touchback here. I just got to drive it, get a little bit on top of the ball, and I got lucky, and it was a touchback.
Something you just brought up that sounds interesting. If the ground's wet, you're saying you plant softer.
Mm-hmm.
That seems counterintuitive, but talk about that, why it helps to plant soft.
So when I plant, I usually kind of plant a little firm, and then my ankle is on the ground harder. And if the ground is slippery, when I plant firm, I have a easy chance to slip, just like last week. Last week they had like really weird turf; it was slippery. So when I planted, I slipped on my first kick in warmups, and so I had to just plant softer, so I could just explode out of that kick more and just follow through. But yeah.
Is the warm-up process maybe, not that it's not important, but maybe a little more important for you to kind of fine-tune your mechanics in a situation where the surface is?
Yes and no. During the warmups, I just try to just make good contact with the ball and just see it go through the uprights.